y'all. This is your boy DJ Chop, Silver Fox in the building. Let's work.
And it's your girl, Stay, y'all.
This is Jen.
Justice, and we back with another one.
We got a special guest in the building.
What up, homies? Shumpy Shump.
Chill Shump on the beat. How y'all doing today? All right.
Hey, we're
Everybody
glad
good?
you're here.
Everybody
Thanks
good?
for joining
Everybody
us.
good.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
It's
So it's big things. We've seen you. I've seen you.
Yeah.
You've been up there.
Yeah.
You was up there with my girl.
Yes.
Fox.
Yes.
61.
Shout out to
I'm going to
561.
improvise that.
Yes.
CT stand up.
Absolutely.
How was that? And I mean, I saw it. It was amazing.
I
How
think
you
it was
feel
beautiful.
about
I think this was a great way for me to highlight what I got going on with the youth. I mean, I just feel like at this point, the dang country never knows what I got going on right now. So we just try to shed more light on it any type of way we can, you know.
Yeah, it's awesome
Absolutely.
what you got going on. I love it.
Yeah,
I think we
yeah.
all can agree.
Yes,
Some doing
yes,
big
we
things,
do.
and it's up from here.
Trying to hold it
Absolutely.
down.
Okay.
Man, I'm proud of you. Obviously, you know me. You have a little bit of a history.
Big facts.
But tell us how you got into this particular situation with the school. How did that come about?
So, I mean, at this point, I ain't gonna lie to you. Regardless of me producing and whatever placements I may have had, I still need a job at the moment. So, my boy ended up hooking me up at this job. I mean, just hooked me up the job with Pulaski Middle School as a behavioral specialist. So, one thing led into another. He just basically hooked me up. He sat there and told me, "Yo, man, listen. In order for us to sit there and actually make a little bit of OT, you might as well just come with after school program. You know what I mean? You make beats. I do videography. You feel me? You might as well just blend that together and just make us a program." So,
Great.
sit there, wrote it up, gave you the proposal to the principal. She approved it, and then boom. You know what I'm saying? So
History was made from there.
Parlay a regular job into extra money and help the community with something you love.
I'm a hustler, baby.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I love it.
you know, you got to make it happen one way or another, man. And I just seen this way as not only, you know, a way to just to go ahead and get mine, but it's also an incentive for kids to stay in school, keep attendance up. You know what I'm saying? Keep grades up. You know what I mean? Make sure they just do the right thing. So,
Focus.
absolutely.
Not only that,
awesome,
to
man.
inspire them for doing something they might love to do,
Yeah,
and
for
you
sure.
introduce that to them.
For sure.
They might not even known that love was there until you showed up.
And that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah,
You know?
that's beautiful.
Absolutely.
You inspiring a lot of kids. So.
Have you seen
That's awesome.
anybody? Like, obviously you've been doing this for a while. Have you seen anybody in your classes so far? And I know it's early that you're like, wow, this kid has talent, and it would have never been seen unless given this opportunity.
I got like two that are really just advanced.
Wow.
That, like they're just picking it up, and it's not even like me going through a thorough session with them. They're just like, okay, this is how this goes. Okay, cool. What's next? You know what I mean?
They're
And
just
I'm
on
just
it.
like,
Quick
and
with
it's
it.
wild on me sometimes, man. You know what I mean? So
Get to it.
It's like, be surprised what they pick up, especially when they love it.
yeah,
You'd be real surprised.
yeah. And you know, I mean, I'm dealing with like 11 to 14-year-olds. So everybody's just, I mean, at this point they're in a influential stage,
Absolutely.
right?
Very impressionable.
But they're still very like smart for
Absolutely.
this. So whatever they're into, they're gonna deep dive in. You know what I'm saying? And really just
And that's what makes it more
themselves
beautiful to
into it,
see,
you know?
I bet. Like, to see
Absolutely.
them dive in like that.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
not only that, you could probably learn from them because they're like on a whole nother creative level
Thank
with
you.
it. You know?
I'm glad you brought that up because now I mean, at least on how I'm looking at things is not only me teaching the kids, but I'm trying to teach myself because I'm trying to critique myself too. You know what I mean? These videos I make, I sit there and literally watch them. I watch them thoroughly.
Yeah.
And not only do I make little videos and TikToks and Instagram reels, whatever, but I sit there and literally sit there and be like, you know what, I could explain that a little better.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can sit there and gravitate or relate to them a little more when it comes to this segment of the lesson. You know?
Yeah, that's great. Now, since kids are so honest, I have a question. Like,
Yeah.
when you're teaching them and you're doing your beats, are they ever like, "Shut, that sucks"? Like, that beat was horrible. Start over.
They never said that to my face at least. You know?
You know, some kids can be honest as
And I allow that for
Right,
them. You know what
it's
I mean?
good.
So I sit there and tell them all the time, like, if you feel like it's whack, then it's whack. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
everything about, at least my after school program is all about creativity.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I tell them all the time, I can sit there and teach you how to time stretch, sample, progression chords, all the music theory, everything else. But the only thing that I can't teach you is creativity.
Right.
That's
That's
up to you.
absolutely, yes,
know?
I love that. Yeah,
How
yeah.
does that creative process go with them, though?
I'm trying to develop it for them. You know what I mean? So I'll start, like, when our program is probably no more than 2 hours long, right? And the first 15 minutes, at least from our program, I'm just sitting there, we're chilling. I let them get on their phones, let them talk, kick it amongst themselves,
Let
whatever.
relax it
Just let them
out,
relax
yeah.
because they've been in school all day. They've been
yeah.
in school all day. They've been sitting there cramming in lessons all damn day, doing something that, let's be real, they don't necessarily really want to do it, but you know they have to.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I let them just get that off real quick, and then we spend like another 15 to 20 minutes just talking about nothing but pure music related stuff.
That's awesome.
So anything involving a sample or how a beat went or how this producer come up with or how this producer's downfall went, and just they want to sit there and just listen to some beats. I'll let them just flow through that process just to see if like, okay, you know what if I want to make a beat like this, or I want to make sure like my hi-hats are like this, or my 808s are hitting like this. Mister, I want to work on this next. I'm trying to build inspiration.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, not for sure.
So did you have any of your students, or you want to call them students or whatever, sit down and say, can you do this way because that's their idea, and then what you thought about that?
Explain it just a little bit more. For me.
Okay, so when your children, you sit down and you listen to beats, do anyone ever come to you and be like, I think we should do it this way, or what do you think about this beat, and would you switch it over?
So like they're asking me for my critique
basically
all the time. They sit and I'll be honest with you, all they try to do is try to please me. You know what I mean?
Of course,
So,
yeah,
but it's not even to that for real. It's just more or less just them learning.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I'm focused on is them learning. And let's be real. Like I maybe got 10 to 12 kids in my club. Not everybody's gonna sit there and want to pursue the career or art of producing. You know what I mean? But if I spark that mind to sit there and just open their mind, like, you know what? I want to be an audio engineer instead, or I want to be an artist instead. I want to be a songwriter, manager, whatever the case is. If I sparked it, you know what I mean? That means something to me. It counts.
More to it. It's
Right.
so many different avenues. So
Right.
it's great that you're helping them explain the different
Right.
avenues that they can take. What is the favorite question you get asked by all students? Like that's the question that they all ask you, being that you make beats. Like, is it
How much
what
I got
artist you ever did?
How much I got paid from Lil Wayne?
Is that
That's everybody's favorite question.
I bet.
Everybody's
I bet.
favorite question. My answer to that all the time is a lot of money.
Okay, and that is all you need to know.
Right.
Speaking of sparking an interest and everything like that, let's talk about your interest. How did it come for you? At what point did you say the creative juices came to you and said, I want to do this, and what part of it said, I want to make this a career? What time frame was that for you?
I would say 15 is when I dropped the interest in it. I was still here, you know, just a regular kid in New Britain. My brother's boy came downstairs. You know Jaquan Monfort?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's the one.
Yeah.
He's the one. Yo, no.
Your favorite
And everybody don't. I mean, I always sit there and say my brother's boy all the time in all my interviews, but nah, it was him. He came through. He gave me a little floppy disk at the time. Please don't shoot me for my age. He gave me a floppy disk. It was a demo version of FL Studio. We popped it in my mom's computer. He showed me the 1, 2, 3, and then I just instantly became hooked. Like 100%. You know what I'm saying? So
right there. That's
yeah,
awesome.
Instant. I love that instant.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's
It's
dope.
like when you find your passion, you do anything.
I did not step foot out my house for like 3 months after that. You know what I'm saying?
The
So
creative
a
process.
whole summer I was in the house just trying to make beats.
What
And
is
then I
it?
was doing stuff like trying to, you know, I'll sit there and make a whole bunch of, mind you, it's a demo version. So
Yeah.
you're only access to so many things. Like, you know, they're restricted from trying to go back into your files after you produce the beat, everything like that. So I would sit there and just basically try to make the best that I can, download it into MP3, make enough, then sit there and try to burn it. Put a CD-ROM in there, burn the CDs.
Oh my God.
Burn it, and then try to go right down the street, because I lived on Cherry Street. I would go right down the street. Somebody would have either some type of CD player, whatever the case is, car. Pop this in. Everybody be like,
Okay.
All right.
this is cool.
That's you.
you know, this is
Yeah.
cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know, of course, this is like my early stages of it. You know what I mean?
Of course,
you know.
yeah.
So
Do
you
your
was
kids
working-
know what that is?
Yeah, you was working hard
Burning
at 15.
CDs. Like, do they know?
No idea.
No idea. I
No
know
idea.
they don't.
No idea.
My
They
kids had no idea.
They can't tell you your first Usher song, nothing like that. I'm telling you, man.
No
like,
way.
So your creative juices were flowing at 15. You worked on the floppy disk and all that kind of stuff. And you talked about people listening to your music. What were some of the challenges you faced when you starting out and how people perceived your music, or you know, and how do you stay afloat with the times? Like I know in my opinion, I think the students will be a great window into what they're listening to now. How do you stay afloat with those kind of things?
It wasn't always heat.
Yeah.
It wasn't always heat. There was a time I was pushing out garbage. And that's just the truth of it. You know what I'm saying?
Process,
You got to go
yeah.
through the emotions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think a good way of deciphering that, for real, is that I used to do these showcases in Hartford. They were called Musicology 101. And I would sit there. It'll be. I'm telling you, it'll be right over there where the old Cloud 9 is at, right there on Congress.
Yeah.
There'll be a full house in there, right? And these are real hip hop heads. You know what I'm saying? And I'll have to wreck with some pretty dope dudes.
Yeah, yeah.
Prestige being one of them.
Yeah, he's
You know what I'm
good.
saying?
Yeah,
So,
Prestige is
and mind you,
good.
this is me. This is a young stage me. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Prestige.
And like my first one was like, I was shaking in my boots. You know what I'm
I
saying?
bet. I could imagine. That's
feel me? But-
pressure.
But at the same time, right? You learn.
Yeah.
You learn. So my first go around wasn't the greatest, but it was like, okay, they didn't like what I did, but they loved what he did.
Right.
So let me just start picking it up.
Yeah.
Let me
But
start
that's
picking
what
up,
makes your
picking up,
journey
picking
so
up. Of course.
dope, though.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I had to go through the
Everybody's
motions,
journey is
man.
Exactly.
I had to
yeah.
go through the motions.
Yeah.
I know there
I
was
applaud you. You got far.
You
though.
feel me?
Stop playing with him.
You feel me?
We in the building, y'all act like that.
a moment in time that on Main Street there was an open mic thing
Yes.
going on as well.
Was that
I
at
think
the
I've ever been
where
to
the
that.
old hook and ladder is at? I want to say.
Around the corner. It was more or less right across the street from the courthouse.
Oh,
Yeah. That's right.
Is that the hole in the wall place?
Your boy Keith had a spot
Yeah,
in
a
there. It was
restaurant.
a restaurant in there.
Yeah.
He'll do open mic things and everything like that. And I'll come through just to show love. You know what I'm saying? So
That's still support.
yeah,
We
nah,
all
for sure.
Can't get nowhere without support. So
Never.
yeah, with that love and that
That
support.
love,
and
that
stuff.
What a couple of people don't know is that I put you on to something.
Put me on to something.
What? Let's hear this.
So, frequencies, music.
Yes.
He wasn't aware that they hit certain chakras.
Right. It's
It's-
spiritual vibes, right?
yeah.
Yes.
So it's like certain beats have certain frequencies that trigger certain areas within our body. So it's like, have you done anything with that knowledge since you've been?
I've taken note to it. I'm trying to make it make sense though. You know what I mean? Because again, it's just
Now when you
See,
say
you're gonna have to put out
chakras,
something.
is
You're
that
gonna have
like
to do
like makes you move?
it's just vibrant. It's whatever.
So, like-
It's whatever
But it's
you
kinda like that
presume
mood,
to be,
like,
or
yeah.
it's whatever you presume to be vibrant, or like something that it just makes your body move.
Like when
You
she
know
be
what I'm saying?
twerking and
that
stuff.
music
No.
that
And then,
it's not.
shoot,
So it's regarding frequencies, like energy and frequencies. Music is frequencies. So there's certain frequencies that music is not allowed to play due to that. So it gets a lot deeper than just people thinking.
like picture a high pitch, something like, or like your little dog whistles. That's a frequency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They
That's
do
a
that
frequency.
for also like since you're with behavioral children. They do that also with some of the music that
Yes.
they listen to. They change the frequency because it
well,
calms them in some sense, and then others that do differently.
There's certain things that just don't sound
Exactly.
pleasing. You know what I'm
and
saying?
then there's certain
Right.
frequencies that we don't hear that a young person hears as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like incorporating that in your music so that everyone of all ages can actually hear your music and not just be a
Some
specific
frequencies
age
creates
group.
the vibe.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially like when I listen to No Trish, like listen, the frequencies get you like, listen, y'all gotta, if you haven't heard that song, shame on y'all.
Stay
Because
ready
it
to
get live.
ready to dance. Go
Listen,
ahead.
we were in the car jamming to that. Now talk about frequency. That's
Word.
kind of get you jumping. You got all kind of different frequencies. Get you in the mood.
Word.
Get you like when you want to be mellow. You know
It's
what I'm
like
saying?
whatever mood you were in when
Yeah.
you created that is the vibe in a sense that we feel
We're gonna
when
get,
we listen
yeah.
to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So people don't necessarily take it into that like reasoning that
So, my bad, I didn't mean to
No, go
interrupt. So you know what my theory is, right? At least my theory with sampling records is that I try to sample whatever record that was too young to be in the club. So No Club,
like
I mean, No Scrub is one of them, right? Pump It Up by Joe Budden was one of them, right?
Oh, that's the
Hands So Your Eyes Can See was one of them. You know what I'm saying? These are all records that I sampled, and they turned out to be very big records, regardless if it was just within the state or just on a national.
And
Yeah,
all
so
of those
to our
that you named
viewers,
got a mood. You heard all his songs, right? It's like,
yeah.
yeah, that's
right? But also too, he just told us we all old as fuck.
Hold on.
Those was
Justin
bangers.
speaking for himself, y'all.
Yeah.
I mean,
don't know what he
I'm
talking
like,
about.
I'm like a
You're not
listen,
giving
man.
what the women
They
are.
on the students in the club is on me, man. Because I'm telling you, I can sit there and bring up anything. I can bring up one of Drake's first records, and they'll be like, "Miss, this is old. You're old."
Yeah.
And they'll look at me like with the dead serious face. I'm just like, yeah.
But
But they don't even realize some of those samples
Yeah.
or the stuff they listen to now. They don't even realize that, which
Right.
is crazy.
Exactly.
Like,
Right. And
I just learned that recently. Like,
And
Some of the stuff I did that with my kids.
And
I
a
took
part,
the song and
I think a part of the club, or just at least one of my initiatives in the club, is to make sure that they know that stuff. You know what I mean? Do your research. You know what I'm saying? I had to sample records from 70s, 80s, you name it, 90s. When I'm nothing but a toddler at the moment, just so we could fast forward it now and make great history. You know what I mean? So who's to sit there and say that you can't do the same thing? You know?
Oh, absolutely.
But that's
Sound
how
like a
music
reincarnation.
is.
Right.
Like the music that we used to listen to in the 90s is music from the 70s. You know what I mean? So it's constantly reinventing
constantly being
itself
sampled,
to be, you know,
Keeping
with
it
the
going.
age. Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, and that's what they're gonna be doing to Shump music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
20
Speaking
years
of
from
Make it
now.
happen. You want to speak to
Let's
existence?
go. Any
Yup,
new,
manifesting.
anything new going on right now with the music?
I mean, shoot, what's not going on right
Oh,
now?
you got. Let's hear, please.
We building a new studio right now. Shopping me, my partner Mud. We literally just got what we need to do just to get that going now. So that'll be going up and running within the next month and a half. We're developing a nonprofit. So the nonprofit is called Mud Multimedia Inc. That is basically incubated for any kids that want to do coding, producing, photography, videography, anything in that matter, right? And this is our way to keep kids out of the streets, in a positive light. Anything that we could do to help build their minds and spark their minds, to make them want to becoming that next big generation of Silicon Valley. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're trying to do. You know?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what they
Appreciate
need.
Period.
Thank you for that, because
Yeah,
these
sure.
kids, they need it, man.
Sure.
And music, listen, music is such a bridge
You know?
in every which way,
Yeah.
emotionally for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's so much talent, man.
Mhm.
So much talent.
And I'll be honest, it's God, man, because I couldn't sit there and say that, at least right now, was like the goal that I needed to be taken as far as being successful as I possibly can, is tapping in more into the educational side of beat making and production. It was me just hopping on TikTok and just randomly doing something, making a post, because I'm sitting there saying to myself, you haven't posted on TikTok in a minute. And that's God sitting there
just
saying,
like
bro,
that.
it's your niche.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Look
saying?
at God, yo.
No,
Yes.
you know?
Stop
we,
playing.
We
Yes,
talked
great.
about your interests and what got you started. We talked about the creative space. We talked about some of the challenges. What is something advice wise you would give somebody that's trying to get into the music industry? What is something you would want to tell them?
Okay, so big. Understand your opportunities whenever they present you, right? And sometimes it may not seem great. It may not seem like it's worth it or anything like that, but you never know what can happen off of anything. So that's one. Two, stay working, stay grinding. Do not get lazy. You know what I mean? And just be outside, man. Like, a lot of people or a lot of creatives now think that social media is your outside. Which no the hell it's not, man. You feel me? Like, you gotta step out. You gotta really pop out. You gotta travel. You know what I mean? You gotta sit there and meet certain people. There are, and it's been like kind of one of the biggest talks that CT has had for a long time, is why CT doesn't get that love, or why CT doesn't get that spark, or get that drive like New York or Atlanta or LA.
We're blacklisted. No, I'm joking.
Well, I'll be real with you. We're not that New York, LA, or Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're a small music market for one. So understand, we already behind the 8 ball. You dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
This means you gotta do twice as much more.
You gotta work.
You gotta do twice as much more. You gotta hit these summits. You gotta hit these seminars, these conferences, network, meet people, follow up.
Out there.
Follow up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just becoming a businessman with your craft.
Right.
And a lot of people don't get that.
Yeah, I feel like this generation lost that, what we used to do. Like, I respect it. I'm just bringing on one. I respect it when you go beyond, because, like you said, it's not just social media anymore, but a lot of people think that it is. And someone actually handed me a CD
That's me.
A CD. When's the last time I've touched a CD? I couldn't believe it. I said, I respect it.
Yeah.
This is work.
Right,
like,
right.
you're pushing, and I have to, listen, usually I got a SoundCloud, or I have, you can look me on Apple, but that kind of push, a lot of people missing that drive that they used to have.
It's all about doing more.
Yeah,
You know?
you got to get out there.
It's all about doing more.
Don't get lazy, like you said. You
Rain
can't
shower.
get lazy.
Sure.
You see this.
You heard what he said.
Keep watching Shump.
Yeah.
He out here. That's beautiful, man. I do have a question for you.
Yep.
Can you tell us if there's like a particular memorable project that you did? Like, how was that for you? What was that particular project that you just can't forget and it was unforgettable?
Besides Lil Wayne, right? Besides me producing for Lil Wayne and being able to get plaques and billboards from that, I would have to say Yankees. And the reason that is that was like probably the first powerful record I've ever been a part of. You know what I mean? And
crazy.
just as big as it went. You know what I'm saying? It just being a regular little tune to, all right, we're in the middle of New York and Midtown because we're about to walk into Sony offices and talk to the CEOs of RCA and Columbia. And then this is in a matter of 3 weeks.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, understand that. You know what I mean? Like, that was a freight train.
Yeah, that was
You know what I'm
fast.
saying?
Like, what?
And that was my first experience ever seeing something like that.
Yeah.
And it definitely solidified me as a producer here at CT. So, yeah, if there's definitely that'll probably be it because it was a memorable. We learned from it. We gained success from it. All types of stuff. So
yeah, that record was crazy.
Absolutely,
it went crazy. So you saying that? What?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's great. That's good, and it's inspiring because all that was work, man.
Right, and then, I'll be honest with you, like that was, and shout to Snow. She didn't have a reference before that record. There wasn't a song to refer to before that record.
Yeah, she didn't have anything before that, right? Yeah, that's
and
that's even crazy.
That one song sat there and took her into the situation of getting a major deal, a major label deal. So that's like this. That's like having this little cup, like a ball or something right there, right? And you're on the 100th story, right? You're on the 100th-story building on the ceiling, on the very top, and there's 1 million people there, and they're throwing balls, trying to make it into a hole like this big, and you do it on the first try.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So like that, that was special.
Right? That's the universe
That was
there.
special.
That's God right there, yeah.
So is there like anybody specific that you really want to work with? That's like starstruck, like I can't wait to get the opportunity.
Shoot, there's 1 million. But it switches up all the time. Like, but I'll be honest with you, like I wanna work with the producers. I wanna build from the producers. Get me in the booth with Swiss. You know what I'm saying? Get me in the booth with DJ Khaled. I'm a learn, of course, but I'm a wreck with you too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to build, just like how my manager was just speaking on earlier. You know what I mean? We're in the motion of pushing my brand like a DJ Khaled, like a drama, like a Swiss Beats or an etc. You know what I mean? Because I've been doing it so long, like my catalog and just range of music knowledge is out there for me to actually really wreck with anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of, you said you've been in for a while. You've been in the industry for a while, over a decade, right? What are some of the changes you've seen, or the biggest changes you've seen in the production landscape, and how you able to adapt to those changes as music evolved?
It has its points, right? Because everybody was like super into East Coast, like 2006 to like maybe 2009. Everybody was super into East Coast rap, and then trap came, and that changed the whole trajectory of production alone, because that was the hot. You know what I'm saying? And for that having its 10-year, 12-year run for as long as it did, and then now we got drill. You know what I'm saying?
Out of Chicago. Is that where the original
drill music?
Granted, yes. Let me. Oh, I'll clarify that a little more. Yeah, drill is definitely originated in Chicago, but I'm speaking more upon like UK, New York drill. So like Pop Smoke, Fabio Foreign. You know what I'm saying? Like those artists. Like that era came in like 2019, and from then until now, it's almost about to take over. You know what I mean? So like, put like this: all the kids in my club, they don't even want to make nothing that doesn't involve drill.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's taking over.
And like I have to teach them other stuff because like what I'm not. Now I'll be selling short of my lesson to y'all if I'm only teaching you guys drill. If you're only doing that, yeah. You know what I mean? But it's only that's hot.
Speaking of, like, so you saying you want to teach them other stuff. Are you a producer that's known for a particular style, or are you a guy that you feel like can cross over?
I had a style. I have a style. You know what I'm saying? And the style is what you heard on Yanker. The style is what you heard on Line Bike. The style is what you heard on No Treach. And the vibe of that, there's a dance to it. A whole trending dance to it. You know what I'm saying? Dumbing out, yanking it, freaking it, whatever you want to call it. That was that. You know what I'm saying? And I was developing that in the perfect sense, you know what I'm saying? And of course, you know, we try to move along with the flow. And or a lot of kids will move along with the flow of what's hot. So when drill came in the picture, it was kind of shortly after everything was at its reaching or getting high, you know what I'm saying? You know, everybody's more into twirling and all that other good stuff, you know what I'm saying? All that whatever you do, boy, we dance to drill music or whatever. Twirling. But you know, it's never dead. When
you get into a space of if you're getting creative, right? Do you hear something like, man, this is gonna be a banger for a dance, and then you just come up with a dance creatively, or you let the music come out how it comes out, and then you let the people speak for that in the movement.
Make the dance.
Yeah. I'll make the music. Whoever is the artist, whoever the personnel is, I'll let them paint that picture, and however that needs to be. You know what I'm saying? So, I'll find the vibe. You know what I mean? And then once I pass it off to the artist, they'll be like, nah, yo, I can see us doing the dance to this, or I can see a vibe to this, or we can sit there and get something trending with this. You know what I mean? Like, I let them come up.
Is that where it's going more so now? Like, people are looking for trendy things to be the hot thing?
100%.
Or it's like...
I mean, I feel like that
100%. I mean, I feel like at this point, every artist's goal is the trend on one of these social media platforms, whether it's Instagram, TikTok. TikTok being number one because TikTok's reaches.
Yeah. Yes.
Insane.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Insane, bro. It's like insane. And I couldn't see that until my ass went viral myself. So the reach for TikTok is it's on a whole nother level. You know what I mean? And that's why Instagram is trying to compete with it right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like put like this, man. Like
TikTok
Instagram's trying to pay you to be on Instagram more. You know what I mean? Like,
and don't forget the frequency.
Now you know I'm gonna ask. Can you yank rhythm? Can you do it?
Of course I can.
No, you lying. You know we gotta see that.
No, I'm good, though. I'm retired, man. I'm retired. I learned from one of the best. Rest in peace, Gangsta-licious. Nah, but absolutely. But I'm so tired for it.
I bet. Have you done it way too much?
I'll get one of the young ones to do it. You know what I mean?
So now I got to look up the No Treach dance because now I didn't even know. So there's a dance.
Nah. But there isn't.
I was about to say, don't get me excited because that's my song.
All right, okay. Yank rhythm. Everybody was. I mean, it's just the style and vibe. I don't know what's the best way to try to categorize that mud.
As far as what?
Like just yanking it.
I think when you listen to any music in Connecticut, yanking and freaking and dumbing is so ingrained in the Connecticut culture. They do that shit to everything.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's such a staple. You know what I mean? This is something that originally came from a gang culture. And then rest in peace, my little homie Zoe, who we all know as Gangsta-licious. He's the one that kind of just evolved it, elevated it, took it to another level where now you only seen that dance being done inside the North End of Hartford. Until now, you see it. You see the young white boy doing it in Fairfield.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? In his mansion and all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not knock or nothing like that. I'm just saying how this how influential the kid was.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
you know you're influential when you get that kind
of
reach.
You feel me? I always felt it was always a privilege for me just to even have as much time as I had with him to actually be in the studio and build big records and stuff like that. So
that's beautiful.
For sure.
Because y'all definitely did that.
For sure.
Y'all definitely did that.
Since we're talking about dances, I just want to ask your opinion. What did you think about Rihanna's performance at the Super Bowl halftime?
Here we go.
She did her diva-ish thing. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? I mean, of course, she wasn't moving much because I guess we all know she's pregnant again. You know what I'm
And
saying?
the
So
cord, and the cord.
I've seen pregnant people move.
And
Just
the cord.
saying.
are we talking about Beyonce? Who we talking about? I don't
No,
know.
I'm just saying.
Exactly.
in general. I am.
So it ain't about being nice. We want Jen to be exactly who she is.
Exactly.
Argue that.
Yes.
And if you don't like Jen, please put a 1 in the chat at the bottom of the screen.
And if you don't like justice,
Well, I'm the people's champ, so
like and subscribe.
Hey Jen, she out on the cable though, and she pregnant.
No,
Yo,
I
she
mean,
in
she
the
had
air,
cable.
So what?
She was killing this woman.
I
She
was
was
like
killing this
killing
woman.
her.
And I'm gonna tell you why. This is the thing that I have a big problem with as a
She's
woman,
following
and I'm a fan of the women myself. I felt like, and you know how things is structured, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got a show that's scheduled for next week.
Yep.
You don't know what's gonna happen the day that
Right.
can dictate that.
Right.
She signed that deal to
Mhm.
do the Super Bowl months prior, and now here she is pregnant.
Pregnant.
As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
I was looking today, and she said in an Instagram post, "I have both my babies in this picture, and I didn't know."
Yes, I saw that.
So when she signed that deal to do the Super Bowl halftime show, she got pregnant. What was she supposed to do? Walk away from that?
I'm
And then
sure
we
it was
have
already
her
restricted
fellow
everything, yeah.
her fellow feminist here. Jen.
I'm not
Oh,
a
that's not
feminist.
a good enough.
And
She didn't do a good enough job.
Don't-
First of all, Rihanna
those
is
are
not and has never been a dancer. And then now she's pregnant and she's suspended in the air. And we got no grace from her.
on
her
a
people.
floating stage.
Well, not only that, she haven't been out in like 6-7 years.
Man,
And she's in a whole different
But
space
you know what?
in life right now.
Yeah,
so.
she in her Fenty bag. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Fenty
She
stuff.
ain't got to
Yeah.
perform,
bag,
really.
She making that damn dollar. You know?
Yeah.
So,
Like
She's
she
a
said,
billionaire, so-
you better have my money. She was up there like, I'm here.
Speaking of which, like
She
you
had
know
to
how like
be.
when you're obviously this is picking up for you. It's snowballing. How does that affect the family life? You know, I know you have kids and one or two.
I got two.
Two kids,
Yep.
and then how does that affect you're on the move so much? How do you guys juggle that stuff?
I just gotta try to find a balance, man. You know what I'm saying? Like as for as much time as I sit there and put in for this music stuff, I gotta sit there and devote a day to whatever it needs to be for my kids. You know what I mean? They need me. You know, I don't. And of course, it's what I'm doing it for. But then it's gonna be like, what's the point if I can never see them?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
Balance is-
I definitely try to find my.
Salute it.
Appreciate you. I always try to find my little balance. You know what I'm saying? And granted, of course, this is me working that situation. Of course, on a co-parenting status. You know what I'm saying? So I try. All right, cool. Hey, listen, drop the kids off here for a couple of days. I'm gonna kick it with them. We're gonna hang out, do whatever. All right, it's time to go. Cool. All right. Listen, Daddy love you. I'll see you later. I gotta get back to work. You know?
That's good.
Absolutely.
Dad
I understand.
first.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the last time we spoke, you were in a relationship.
Yeah,
right?
yep.
Still.
Very much so.
So no, I don't just
Taking,
change. I'm not
Yeah,
saying
no.
anything. So how does that work in the industry? You know, having a relationship and both of
Juggling
you-
that.
Yeah.
Also finding that work balance situation too. You know what I mean? And sometimes that gets hard. It's just we just gotta we both, excuse me, as far as me and her, we gotta be both understanding. And I'll be honest,
Communication.
yes, I'm just as understanding because her job, sometimes she gotta get up and go for her job too. You know what I mean? So she gets it, I get it. Like she know I gotta be out there, like, you know what I'm saying, handling business, and she understands. You know what I mean? Would I want to bring her? Of course I would. Of course, this would be a beautiful experience. But you know, sometimes we just got not everybody can go. Sometimes we gotta sit it out. I love you. You love me from a distance. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, cool. You know, and we gotta get to it.
So you can reach, you gotta trust the process
For
for
sure.
sure. As a couple, and communication is important.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
Definitely.
yeah, salute.
Does any of your kids have the music gene you think yet, or is it like something?
Oh, that's a good question. Do you mind if I ask if you have boys or girls or both?
So, all right, I want to, and this gave me the perfect time to clarify, right? I got my two daughters, Pay and Puff, 8
Hi, Pay,
and 5, and then I got my stepson. My stepson's 13.
Oh, wow.
So my stepson is that little Chill Shump. That's him.
Is that him?
yeah,
I love it.
That's
I love
him. He was
it.
like 5 at the time when he did it.
Oh, that's even more dope. That's
And
awesome.
shoot, now I was like, Dad, you know you owe me money for that, right? I'm like, you know what?
Yeah,
I was like, you know what? Pay me back for all them haircuts, then, and
Yeah,
cool,
too.
man. Then we'll talk about the money.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? But
They happen so fast.
Yes,
they just grow up so
you know. But if you ask me, I think Peyton is that one. Like she's the one that's always asking me about music stuff. She's giving me the old music ideas. She knows what I do. You know what I mean?
That's
and
awesome.
she's like, "Oh, Dad, I seen this on my phone, and this is a beat machine, and do you use this?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "Oh, well, can you teach me?"
Oh, she's great.
So now I gotta buy it.
So you think she's the one that's most in tune with what you're doing? Because I know you
Yeah,
have
no, as of right
13-year-old,
now, yes. Because who's to sit there and say the other one, or the oldest one, or the youngest one, will sit there and be like, "Nah, I want to win."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then, of course, you know, who am I going to sit there to say no?
Yeah,
For sure.
man. You Shump. I know they look at the TV like it's Dad.
No, my youngest was like, she's 5, but she was sitting there. She came to my house after like the news segments and everything, and then she came. She looked at me. She said, "Daddy, everybody's been coming to me saying that they seen you on TV."
Oh, they're so
I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Where?" And I was like, "Okay, have a seat." She's
They
like,
so
"Yo,
blunt at
yeah."
their
She's like,
age, I
"Yo."
Didn't that feel good though?
It's what I do it for.
Awesome.
You know what I'm
Felt
saying?
good.
Like, it's what I
Like,
do.
that's your daddy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yo, Daddy up there.
Daddy up there. That was your daddy.
You know what I mean?
That's me.
Yeah.
And it's always on record. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what
Pop it up
gotta be
without
awesome.
it.
Watch it.
You feel me?
Hey, remember Daddy's on TV?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that feeling gotta be dope.
For sure.
That's why I had to ask that question to see which kid gets the most excited. Because you know, I'm like, that's Dad. That's what.
Yup. So you
That,
know,
it is a
That's
great,
great.
it is a great feeling, man. But be able to, you know, like one of my sons, he's in middle school,
yes.
and his classmates and teachers will tell him like, "Oh, you're such and such, whatever." And I'm like, after all this time, and he's in middle school. He's like, first time he was like, "Yeah," they're like saying, "Yo, your dad's huge." Like, and it's find it funny, but to have what he has, where he can experience it with his kids. Whereas what I did, no one really could experience it with me by myself. But that's something that you can enjoy with your children. I think that's awesome, man.
Inspiring them as well is beautiful.
Yeah,
Your own
that's dope,
kids,
man. That's
you
dope.
know.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's awesome. I love to hear the dad stuff. That's great, man.
Definitely.
Y'all keep that up.
So, I got a question for you.
Yes,
So, what is your plans for the future? You know, both in terms of your personal growth as a music producer and your efforts to give back to the community through the music.
So I'm trying to develop my efforts or my endeavors with the youth. We obviously seen that, you know, this is something that is obviously needed all across the world at this point.
Yes.
And that's the type of attention I've been getting. So we're gonna feed that. You know, anything that we can do as far as bringing the knowledge as far as music production or you know anything involving the media world. We want to be able to provide that, you know. The goal is to turn this into, because everybody's calling me the beat coach, right?
Yeah.
And mind you, I didn't deem myself that name. The people deem me the name. You know what I mean?
That's
so
what it's meant to be.
That's when you know it's real.
You
right?
know what it
you know.
is, yeah.
So now it's like, okay, well, what if I come up with a beat coach university, where you know there's a whole bunch of people that are in the same type of knowledge that I have, and I'm able to give it all to the world the way I need to.
I want a varsity jacket when you start making them for the university.
It's gonna be nice.
Beat coach.
It's gonna be
From
nice.
the
Bunch of patches.
I think that's
To
awesome.
the beat professor.
Yes.
Right?
You know?
Okay.
Hey, so
Excuse me, real quick. I think you should tell them about the curriculum.
Yes, let's hear
Okay.
about
Let's
that.
talk. Let's talk.
Okay, so that's in the works right now. And I would tell you this. This is how the curriculum even came into play. It wasn't the hey, how can I get lessons online? Or I wish I had this in high school. The comments going crazy or anything like that. It was somebody reaching out to us that worked in the music education system in a high position all the way out in Canada. And he was like, man, listen, I will fly you out here and pay you for your expenses here, your time, just to sit there and teach my educators your curriculum. And at the moment, I didn't even have a curriculum. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like,
okay.
Oh man.
Talk
I'm
about
just
when
like,
they come knock
yo,
here.
whoa, you know what I mean? Like, and he's like, and that's when it all came to mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we got it.
I'm just wondering, I want to be part of the entourage. Like, this man finna blow. We about to go to the Grammy stage. Like,
Y'all gonna have to check
hold
the
on, though.
plane. Y'all
Because
gonna have to
remember when
check
you
the
was
flight.
football coaching?
Yeah.
I gave you your first coach.
Yeah, not facts.
You know me, dog.
Facts.
I'm calling that shit in. I'm gonna wait though. I'm gonna wait till he do a movie hook or you know what I mean, something, and he gonna grab me and be like, oh, remember that time?
You heard that?
30 years ago.
Y'all gonna have to check the cargo because he might be there.
I'm
He
gonna
might
be up
be
in there. Nah, that's man. Look, man. I don't get excited over too much, but this is one of those things, man. They're happy to know you, the man you are, the things you do to the community, like you're chasing your passion, like that. I think that's so dope to know, and it's like I truly believe you realize music was what you were going to be doing far before anybody else could see it, and I think that's the best part about any one passion, to know that y'all just not realizing this. I knew this 20 years ago, and he stayed with it. So
I just had to see it through, man. I had to see it through. Of course, it got dark. It got super dark. You know what I mean? To the point, it was like, dang, you already got the successful, but still nothing happened. You know what I mean? And you had to figure it out. Sometimes you had to step back. You know what I mean? But then you feel me? Just you stay true to what you know, and opportunities is gonna present itself. That's what I always tell them. I tell people all the time, man. Understand the opportunities when it presents themselves.
How many opportunities you think you missed out on? Or is there something that you was like,
I know I missed out on something. Listen, I know I missed out on something, but I'll sit there and talk about an opportunity that I didn't miss out on, which is just clear as day. And I explain this. I feel like I explained this to past podcasts about. I'm talking to it now. So when it came down to the Yankee Rhythm record, it was time to just actually just give Snow the beat. You know what I'm saying? And I could have sat there and say anything in the world that could have derailed the success. So I could have sat there and said, yo, I need 500, 600 or something like that. Some money that I knew she wasn't going to cough up, so I could give her this money. But instead, I just sat there and told myself, yo, rock out, do what you do. You know what I mean? I just gave her the beat. And 2-3 months later, ended up being what it was. At that point, it gets so crazy that it's time to pay me for the beat, because at this point she's signed. They want the record. So now they got to pay me. So considering at that time me and her had the same lawyer, I had to get the conflict lawyer.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
No, I got it. I got that. You know what I'm saying? It was time for them to pay me for the record. Me and my manager, we had to get the conflict lawyer. The conflict lawyer was a go-getter. We just liked how you move. Like how you work. We got a good amount of money for it and a good percentage, especially considering that was a sample record. Me and him had a good feeling about the dude. He was like, okay, cool, so let's retain him. Then fast forward in time, he used to start talking about, hey man, listen, my guy from Republic Records is gonna be working on like at least 10 artists. You know what I'm saying? Name, Justin Bieber, Nicki Minaj, he mentions Lil Wayne, but that's the last person I'm thinking in my head. Make a whole bunch of beats and send them. Wow. And I do exactly that. And time progresses and progression progresses, you know what I'm saying? And before you know it, I end up getting a placement on Lil Wayne's album. Now, this is probably within a year and a half, right?
This is a good story.
Yeah,
this is probably a year and a half, right? Until we get to that point. Mind you, shout out to Lil Wayne, man. Shout out to Republic. Shout out to all the people that actually just helped me make it work, because I ended up getting gold plaques and #1 billboards from that project alone. Now, had I not sat there and just gave her the beat,
it
would have never happened.
Yeah.
It would have never happened. Or at least not in this sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? So to me, it's like, yo, no, that was your opportunity. It didn't seem promising at first, because it just looked like you just giving somebody something for free.
Yeah.
But nah, bro, it helped you in many ways. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, no,
It's like blessing another person blesses you.
You know what I mean?
So that's crazy, man. Because like you said, you miss out on these blessings.
Yeah.
Don't miss out on them blessings. You gotta notice them and go for it.
And that's
gotta
the thing.
go
You
for
gotta notice the blessing. If you don't notice it, you're gonna
Absolutely.
pass.
Don't let them pass you by.
Yeah.
So I have a question. To me, music is therapy. So like, I don't know what you call it in the music industry, but like writer's block, if you ever have that, what is your inspiration? Like, what music do you listen to get you out of that?
Beat block. So I'll be honest with you, sometimes it's not even me listening to music. I'll sit there and do anything else that's not involved in music. I'll chill, I'll kick it, I'll probably watch YouTube, I'll smoke a cigar, I'll go out, have a drink, whatever, and then come back and then refocus and rechannel. And then by at some point, it's locked in.
I like that
It's locked in.
creative process that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just put
Because
out
sometimes
there.
you're gonna drain yourself out.
Yeah, and then you
It happens.
You
It
don't
happens.
get that full creativeness listen to other people's beats all the
Mhm.
time. So you kind of like to get that process and let that creativity come to
Yeah.
you by doing whatever you need to do
Right.
to relax. So yeah, that's a
I'll go on
dope for other
YouTube
people
and
that
literally
might
watch a
have
podcast, and then they'll bring up something or some
Yeah,
time,
there you go,
some type of
yeah.
time frame or whatever. And I'm like, oh
Like,
shit, damn.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
something.
You be
Yo,
surprised.
nah, hold up, pause, and then I'll get right to it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know.
Speaking of your creative part of it, you talked about samples.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know. I know they say there's nothing new under the sun.
Yes.
As a producer, do you think that there's something freshly created, or can you have the ability? Do you have the ability to create something fresh that no one's ever sampled?
Mm-hmm.
And if so, how often does that happen?
We have. I'll be honest, with you, man. If you ask me for real, there's still like a good, in the world's music catalog, there's still like a good 50% of music that's been untouched. Untouched.
I mean, that makes you
bro.
think about it.
You
Music
know what I'm
everywhere.
saying? Like, because you got to remember,
Yeah.
a lot of songs just keep getting resampled and resampled and
Yeah.
resampled.
Yeah.
And shout out to whoever originate that, because
Yeah.
they'll eat forever.
Because they can't have it for real.
Until the day they die, and then their grandkids gonna eat too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you feel me? There's still a big ocean of music that really hasn't been touched.
How do you find that? How do you go to the space that no one's gone to find that new sound or an older sound that's gonna change the wave of music for a little bit?
So I'll give you like two of my processes. One of my processes is going on Who Sampled. It's called whosampled.com. And let's say if I had looked up some song and I'm like, dang, samples over this is crazy. Who made that? You know what I mean? I'll sit there and go on whosampled.com. I'll type in the song. It'll tell me who sampled it, right? And then it'll just be I'll be like, okay, well, what else did they work on? And I'll go through that sampler's library of a whole bunch of stuff, and I'll find samples that way. And then there's another way. I'll go on YouTube. And I'll type in anything, bro. I'll sit there and type in 80s Japanese funk, right? And then a whole bunch of stuff will come up, and it'll just, like YouTube, it'll just send you down a rabbit hole full of music. You know what I mean? And I'll just sit there and just listen, skim through, listen. I don't like it, cool. Skip the next. Listen, and skip the next. Listen, okay, this is kind of dope. All right, let me see what I can do with this. Yank it. Turn it into an MP3, put it on my program, get busy.
Wow.
You know?
The process.
I was gonna ask you about that, like different cultures and areas in the world. You
I'll-
know what I mean?
Mom, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'll bring up one more. All right, one
Let's
more.
get it.
All right, and this is kind of where it originated. My mother and step-pop lived inside this building where I had my studio at, or my home studio. I had that home studio for about 10 years. I miss it because they had to move. I miss it. That was because that was my zen. You know what I'm saying? My stepfather is an old school cat, though. Like, he's just one of them old school type of dudes. His little man cave was right next to my studio. Literally, like, kind of room to room. He'll be in there and he'll sit down. He'll sit there and play his little records, his little funk records or 80s records, whatever it is. I'll be in the next room kicking it, my business. I'll hear that. I'll be like, yo, that's kind of fire. I'll open the door, like, yo, Pop, what's that? He like, chill out, young blood. You don't know nothing about this. Close the door. And when you're ready for that lesson, I'll give it to you. And you know what I'm saying? And then I have to really sit there and learn. You know what I mean? But it made me appreciate it more. For sure. I'm sorry.
Crazy.
No, I was just saying, like, regarding music outside of, the United States, is there something that you want to listen to or something
Or
in
work
another
with, like, a different culture?
Yeah.
You want to know what type of genre I want to learn
Yeah.
for real? Afrobeat.
Okay.
I think that's
real hot
that's a
too
fire.
right now. Yeah.
That's a fire lane right there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's
So
lane right there.
yeah, that's definitely a fire lane.
That's definitely.
You said you
I gotta hear
went,
that.
You said you went on YouTube to find some of the music and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
What technologies or things that you can call from that allow you to make better music? What kind of stuff? Like, I know back in, like, I'm gonna say, was it 10 years ago?
Yeah,
Auto
yeah.
Tune, remember Auto Tune?
Oh,
And then
man.
I think who was it that punted that? Jay-Z kind of made a line about Auto Tune.
Yeah, it was
Talking
definitely
about it,
auto-tune.
crashing
Def
Yeah.
Auto Tune.
Yeah.
Like, what is the next from a technological standpoint? What is something technology-wise is gonna change
So-
or something you might see coming?
All right, and this is scary. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is really scary.
Scary.
But AI is like starting to
Oh,
become a thing now.
man.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
is
So
And music as well.
Wow. Yeah. Oh no, for sure, definitely music now. So like, okay, we got like Serato, where it's a DJ set that we all know about, right? And now in Serato, you could throw a song in here, and you can stem it. You can stem it out. So the song that sits there and got this crazy little bop, but you know what I'm saying, or the melody, you just love the melody, but the drums is always in it, so you can never sit there and drown out the drums. You got that little plug-in system now where you can sit there and take the drums away, so it's nothing but pure melody. And you can sit there and that's the benefit, that's the beauty of it, right? But here's the downside of things now. Now in AI, let's say I got a style of beat, right? And I put it through this little program system. This system's going to literally make the same type of beats.
Oh wow!
It's gonna either like make it the same type or something that's similar to it.
Right.
And that's scary because that's gonna takes away the creativity.
Right.
You could cancel out a producer's job that way.
That's a cheat.
You know what I'm saying? But I'll sit there and say the only thing that's not that we still got the upper hand on is that it takes away the complete creativity from it. You know what I mean? Let's sit there and say I made some dope beat, and then I gave it to a rapper or artist, whoever. They do big on it. The record goes big. It's as easy as a major label sit there and say, "Hey, let me get an instrumental. Let me get an instrumental real quick. Yo, we're gonna run it through this program."
That's crazy.
And then they'll crank out another 10.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
legally,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and sit there and say it was made by somebody else.
Wow.
What about the I don't know if you're familiar with this. This is the AI artist that they came up with.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little about that.
That's crazy.
Do you,
I just feel like, yo, this
The
like
thing-
this
like,
feel like
yeah, exactly.
like come
That was
on,
a
really?
quick
You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's like,
yeah, but it had a whole appearance and everything. Like it had it was built out. Like
yeah.
they were marketing this thing and people thought it was a person for a little while. Then they had to kind of come,
it's
come
scary the
through
way
it.
things are changing when it comes to
It
stuff
is.
like that.
Technology is moving. It's always moving. I would suggest to anybody get to know AI because it's not going anywhere.
I know. Facts.
Yes, dude.
And utilize it the best way you can. You know what I'm saying? And especially with like just the way AI is built these days, it's kind of used to take jobs. And
Yeah, that's
I don't know,
that's
man.
sad
Like
too.
it's
They
dope
don't need
because it's a new form of technology these days, and of course about it is definitely like fire. But man, like when it comes to music, when stuff is built off of creativity and soul and feeling,
Yeah, that feeling
That's
ain't in
what
there
it
no
is.
more.
how you gonna really? You can't compare that.
Nah.
You
Absolutely.
can't compare it. So you mean to tell me there's gonna be another AI Timberland?
Nah,
That's trash as
y'all can't
hell.
do that.
And people embracing it. You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like that's just.
That's what's sad. People embracing it.
So
Features
so
and stuff.
question: how long do you think you're gonna hold that passion at your age now, versus 30 years, 40 years down the line?
Or is
Me
it
and
even
music?
bigger
And
now?
music,
Me and music. That's,
dealing with the children.
that passion gonna be around till the day I die.
Okay, that's what's
You know what I'm
up.
saying? Like,
It is.
I don't know. It's just the drive. It's the drive that I've caught from the first feeling. It's like crack, man. So like, I ain't. It's not going nowhere.
So you did crack.
Stop.
I'm messing with you. We're joking. She ain't never did no
Put that in
crack.
the comments,
I'm
y'all.
just messing with y'all, man. I'm messing with y'all, man.
But yeah, man. Like
The
you know.
beats is crack.
Right, there you go. Good save.
Yup.
That's
Right.
for sure.
You feel me? But yeah, man. Like you know, it's just one of them flames that just don't die out.
Don't die. There you
You
go.
know, they don't die out.
It's forever.
I mean, I only
Never,
ask you
ever.
that because if you look at the industry now,
Mhm.
throughout the years, people will go to a certain age and be like, I lose the passion for it.
That's when
Nobody lose the passion, and this is me being as real as I can. They lose the passion because they don't understand what's going on now. That's relevant.
Yeah, they can't keep
You know,
up with the times.
yeah, right. They're not keeping up, so they're looking at this now. And one of their main questions that's gonna pop up from their head is like, "Yo, this is hot."
Right.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it is hot. You see, homeboy
Right.
over there rocking to it. All these little kids sitting there going crazy on it. Yeah,
It's hot.
it's getting spent, and it's getting the views and streams of it is going through the roof. Yes, it is. So either adapt or stay in your lane.
Yeah.
You feel me? But
There you
understand
go.
what's going on.
Adapt
you know?
or die.
Right.
Gotta stay relevant, man. But yeah, that's dope. It's been great talking to you, Shump.
Absolutely. I
You're-
appreciate y'all.
You're dope as hell.
Definitely.
He got a lot of great things coming, y'all.
Yes.
Mhm.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
We're excited. CT stand up, okay?
Yeah.
I can't say it enough. Shump is doing big things. Keep an eye out for him. He's working with the kids.
Yes.
He's doing great. Listen, keep your eye out for him, y'all.
Watch
TV,
out.
mainstream. Stop playing with Shump.
Watch out.
Before we sign out,
Yes.
can I ask him a question real quick?
Please. Make it good, Shump. Make it
Let him have
good.
it. Let him have it.
What's your top 3 running backs in New Britain?
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh,
Wait, is this
no.
really a question though?
Yes.
Yo, stop playing.
No, but
Oh, we gotta hear it now.
I'm being serious. Like
I mean,
all of the rules. What you should have said was, who's the
What you
other
shoulda
top 3
said.
running backs? Of the top 2, because I'm number 1.
God.
In my
What
not so
you
humble
said.
opinion. See, and this is the thing though, and I tell people this. Shump knows this. Through hard work, you want to stand on who you are and be great. You were great. You're great, right?
Right.
This is why you're here. This is why we want to have you on the podcast.
Right.
Your hard work is now proven. People are appreciating who you are.
Mm-hmm.
See, and that's the thing. I worked very hard for what I
Facts.
accomplished in my playing
100%.
career, right?
100%.
And people will sometimes try to take those things away from me. They try to minimalize it.
Mm.
But I gotta stand on my greatness. I'm the best back ever come out of New Britain High School. Now there's Bucky Jones, who I think is a close second. There's Mike McLeod. There's some other guys. But respect is all due. And I'll leave it like this. I'm the only running back in New Britain High history, this 120-year plus history, to play college football at the position, to be drafted in the NFL at the position. To Bucky, as good as he was not playing the position of running back.
Right.
So when I say running back, I'm not talking about the best athlete, because
Right.
Bucky was, in my opinion, one of the best athletes I've ever seen. And I didn't have an opportunity to see him at the high school level, but he was All-American in 3 sports, right?
Sir.
But when it comes to running back, there's none better.
Ah.
That's just what it is.
Y'all heard it.
Sorry,
Y'all
sorry.
heard it.
Let y'all have it. Ain't nothing.
Mo.
Mo?
Like what?
He's not in New Britain. Oh wait, don't get me wrong. He's a New Britain. He's a New Britain head. Shout out to Mo. But he was a record.
He was a record. And not only that, I'll even go a step further. He ain't better than me either. Like, he ain't better than me either. Y'all better get a short
If
list.
you hear this,
of guys
you
that are-
better get
No,
on
but that's what I'm
it.
saying though.
Oh,
Shump.
Mo will
Shump
hear
makes a
this.
listen. When
In
Shump
the
makes a
comments.
beat, when Shump makes a beat, right? It's certified, right? It ain't no question like, oh yeah, Shump made a beat. When they say Justice and running back, I'm certified. Right?
Get it.
I'm certified. Like, and I hate to, sometimes, no, I don't hate to say that. Because I got sons. And I want y'all to know, Daddy was who I was because I worked hard at it.
Facts.
It wasn't like somebody gave it to me.
Facts.
Shump is who he is because of the dog hours he put in when he thought it was
Right.
bleak.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got to stand on who you are. And I want people to understand there's a fine line between being cocky and confident. I like to think I was
Yes.
confident because of my consistent preparation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So Jenica's simple way. She ain't never ran into a man like me. I'm gonna tell you that.
Hey, now, hey, check out running back.
Gotta run it
But
back.
when you want to say the difference between cocky and confidence, it's
No, because-
over cocky.
See, that's the thing though. That's just no. I don't agree. I like
We could agree
a
to
confident
disagree.
man. I like a confident person. I want people to be confident about who they are. You never know what somebody came from, their trials and tribulations. It allows them to stand on who they are. So whatever it takes for you to find that, Jen, I want you to find that.
Yo.
I would sign language right now, but I'm not going
That's
to.
good. That's good.
It's
Find
all
that
right, Jennifer.
confidence,
Calm down.
man.
It's okay.
Yo,
Don't
give
get
her
him.
fan.
Don't
Give
get
her
him.
fan.
You're cool
Oh,
now.
I'm good. I'm
Don't
Yeah,
good.
that shit good. It's
I
all
make sure
good.
she don't get him, y'all.
No, we're good.
What? Hold up, though. You gonna
Say
ask me
so.
that question? You gonna ask me that question? I got one for you. Who the best producer in Connecticut?
You know it's me.
Okay, you see what I'm saying?
Oh.
You see that? You see how
But
that?
nobody's
Y'all heard it.
debating that.
Y'all heard it.
No, somebody somewhere is debating that. But that's
No, and he's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Because of
It's
course
always
there's
gonna
other
be
people that's gonna sit
critics.
there and say, you know what, but nah, I mean, but homeboy did this or they got this and they went. It's like no, it's like this. I'm not only one of the best, I'm one of the most influential.
Hey,
You know
there
what I'm
you
saying?
go.
So like,
Let's go.
you know,
That's right.
and that,
Hey.
the proof of that is in the
And I know
fight.
this cat, man.
Yeah.
I know this
That's
dude.
heavy.
Wait, we know this guy.
Yeah, man. And it's just like, man, you gotta be confident who you are, man. And I wish you nothing but the best for
Not the
success.
best.
My dog.
I want
That's
you
right.
to be everything you think of, man. Cause I like I said, I knew you made it. When my son came and said, "Dad, you know Chill Shump?" I I'ma look at him like, yeah, why? He like, listen to this. I'm like, oh shit. And then it just brought me back. This dude's been doing this for so long, man, and putting the fucking work in. And there's
Respect.
nothing. People,
Respect.
there's no listen.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to say, you want to get somewhere, put the work in.
Right.
It
Hey,
may
so-
take a while.
Hey, you
But
still
look at-
working.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah,
Still working.
for sure, for
Forever
sure.
working.
Yeah,
Work
you know,
hard.
of course, I still got a lot to
Right.
do, but you know what? that tunnel vision is it's that much more clear. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going.
But last question, who do you think the best running back is?
I'm
just playing. I'm just playing.
Yeah, thank you guys again. It's been awesome. It's your girl Stay. We signing off. Listen, look at my beautiful cup. You see this show, right?
I see it.
This is gonna be on TV too. If you guys want one, they make sports memorabilia cups. You see how bedazzled this is? It don't have to be this girly, guys. Y'all can have one too.
Fire.
Let them know. Y'all can have one too. Fresh Shoes by Flo on Instagram. DM her, hit her up. Get your mugs, man.
Yo,
it's a Yeti too, by the way. Stuff been cool all episode.
We out.
Thank you. Make sure y'all following Chill Shump. Thank you again.
Like, share, subscribe. Don't forget it.